parkour. Listen, this video is for athletes, sport athletes only. So if you're not one, get the out of here. A lot of times I get asked by athletes who have been in sports for like 1 year, 2 years, 20 years, I don't care, which supplements should they use to get their maximum performance? Well, I shouldn't have to say this all the time whenever I speak about supplements, but of course food is always in the top of the pyramid. Food is always the first source of your nutrients. But sometimes if you're an athlete or if you give yourself too much work, you're gonna need some extra nutrients that might come in handier if you use them in supplements. That's why in this video I'm gonna list 7 of my favorite supplements for athletes, and I'm gonna tell in each supplement whether I think it's more suitable for this sport or that sport. So I think this will be very helpful for you. Follow along. Creatine. Oh yes. Oh, I love those flaky flakes. Creatine is regarded as one of the safest and more effective in terms of explosion and strength. And it can really increase your strength levels by 5 to 15%. You have the creatine monohydrate, which is like grains of salt, and you have the creatine formulas, which have a few agents that will help with the absorption. Usually has a little mixture of arginine, which is an amino acid that will help with getting a little more swole, bigger pumps, nitric oxide boost in your system as well. But in the long run, it's actually safer to buy a monohydrate, and it's actually the same. It's the most effective. Oh, and cheaper as well, so you might want to opt for that one. It's also most effective in efforts from 1 to 10 seconds, which means real strength, real explosion. It's very suitable for sports which require those peaks of high intensity, like football, soccer, sprinting, MMA. I know you're gonna ask me, I can hear you asking, how do you take the creatine and do you do a loading phase? You can actually do a loading phase, which will help you get results a little faster, but in the long run, it will be virtually the same. If you choose to do the loading phase, it'll be 20 to 25 grams per day for the first 5 days, and then you jump onto the maintenance phase, which is 5 grams forever. I say forever because you don't really need to cycle it, but if you take like 1 to 2 or 3 months off every once in a while, it'll be fine. Also, you don't need to take these 20 grams at once. You can, for instance, divide it in 2 or 3 or even 4 servings. If you take like 4 times a day, 5 grams, whenever you have the chance. Don't be bothered if it's pre-workout, post-workout. Studies shown that, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, it's okay. Just get it done, and then maintenance phase. Or you can start with the maintenance phase already, because in the long run, once again, will be exactly the same. The next one does not need any type of introduction. It's the protein, obviously. So, whey being the best source, truth is, you don't need to take protein as a supplement. You can have it on your food. But sometimes it's very difficult for you to get that gram per pound of body weight solely based on food. And that's when the supplement comes in handy. Imagine with all your day-to-day chores, going from one place to the other, if you have a little powder and a shaker bottle and you add some water, shake it up and drink it. It's logistically very easy. Whey is considered the best or the most effective, but if you don't want to consume any animal products, you have plant-based protein readily available as well. Whew. And you can, for instance, after a practice session, you can mix it up with this next thing I'm going to tell you about, and you're going to feel the results. Oh, my back. No, my back.
Shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer.
The next one that you can put in your protein as well after your workout, for instance, is carbs. And my preferred source is waxy maize. This is one of the quickest absorbing sources of carbs, and it can actually help you with absorption not only of the protein as well, and creatine. So a good cocktail mix for you to do in your post-workout would be creatine, like those 5 grams for instance, protein, whey for instance, and the waxy maize. Now, we all know that people run away from carbs, especially when they're dieting, if they want to cut some weight. And you know, it's actually a good strategy to keep your protein high and your fats high and to lower your carbs. But I'm talking to athletes, to sports athletes. Sometimes you have 2-3 training sessions a day, so you might want to reconsider that because you need that energy in your muscles. Unless you're in a phase where you want to drop, you want to cut some weight in order, for instance, for a fight or for a game, whatever. That is a specific phase of your training. Other than that, either being strength sports or endurance sports, you need your calories, a lot of your calories, to come from carbs because energy and recovery will play a major role in your progress. BetaAlanine. I'm not sure that's how you spell it, but I think so. This one is very good, especially for endurance athletes, where you have to keep your intensity high throughout large portions of time. If you're, you know, like a long jumper or a sprinter, it's not the best for you, but from every effort, every high intensity effort over 60 seconds, this will be the best supplement for you because it reduces the lactic acid buildup. So it's very useful for people like cyclists, for instance. Ooh, joint supplements, joint strengthening, like complexes of glucosamine, chondroitin. I hope I'm like butchering the words. It has shark cartilage, a little bit of Arnold sweat. Comes in very handy for people like gymnasts or powerlifters. You know, whenever you have to rebound or absorb the impact from a jump, for instance, it might be very handy for you to consider strengthening those joints. Yeah, in order to do stuff like this. See? Strong joints. Vitamins. Vitamins and minerals. You have zinc, you have magnesium, which are very important. You have the vitamin C, which is an antioxidant, which helps to combat free radicals. You have vitamin D, which helps with stronger bones. Vitamins of the B complex help with absorption. That is very important for sports. Don't get me wrong, you might not even need a multivitamin, for instance. You might need isolated vitamins if you check up on yourself every once in a while, and if you see which vitamin or vitamins you might be a little bit low on. But as long as you have them all checked, you're fine. For instance, I checked myself and I was lacking a little bit in vitamin C, go figure. So I'm isolating my supplementation with just vitamin C, a higher dose. Needless to say that this multivitamin and multimineral is suitable for all kinds of athletes from all kinds of sports. Same thing with this last one, omega-3 or fish oil. I'm always talking about fish oil, but what's most important is that your burps will stink of fish. Now, obviously what's more important about this is that it helps reducing inflammation. So it's suitable for all kinds of sportsmen, people, persons. As for how much you should take, it always depends on the manufacturer. Always follow the labels. Don't be asking me, yo, Bruce, how much should I take? You know, I don't know, it depends on the labels. It's usually with lunch and dinner, the two main meals, and it's usually 2 to 3 capsules, I guess. Depends, varies. And voila. These are the 7 supplements that I consider the most important for sports. Do remember, once again, I'm not gonna get tired of saying this, food is your main source of nutrients. Only then, if you feel like you fit in each of these compartments that I told you about, each of these supplements, or for your specific sport, then do supplement. However, liking this video and subscribing this channel is mandatory. Let's go.